What is going on, guys, and welcome back to LOI Fan TV. Apologies for the lack of content over the last couple of weeks. I was away in Greece. Thoughts on this little bad boy, €25 set me back. Not too bad, is it? Not a bad little jersey that I picked up while I was there. But yeah, really good time. But it's good to be back, and yeah, I don't think I missed an awful lot while I was away, did I?
Strikes it left-footed. Oh, it's a glorious strike from the big centre half.
Sneak to Farrugia, and here's a Maku. 2-0. Dynamo Maku finds the net with a brilliant finish in the 87th minute. He scored in Europe before, he's done it again. It's Shamrock Rovers 2, Ludogorets 0, 3-2 to the Bulgarians on aggregate.
Yeah, not ideal to have missed out on all the European fun, but hopefully there is more to come. We'll be doing a quick recap in this video of the Irish sides in Europe and looking ahead to the games this week, as well as the draw that was made today as I'm recording this video. So yeah, let's just jump straight into the video. If you do want to enjoy it, please do drop a like down below and make sure to subscribe. Thank you so much for tuning in. But we will start off with SLIGO. After scraping past Ballatown of Wales, they initially actually won the first leg, brought the game back to the showgrounds and lost 1-0, and were probably lucky to hold on in the end. Ed McGinty had an absolute cracker before he left and moved across the pond. But yeah, just about scraped past Ballatown. They actually lost that home leg. I think they lost to UCD, and then they went and beat Motherwell away from home, backed it up with a 2-0 win against Motherwell at home, and then backed that up with a loss to Wexford at home in the FAI Cup. That is the beauty of the LOI, isn't it? Obviously beating Motherwell was a huge achievement for a League of Ireland side. Obviously after the first leg, Motherwell got a lot of stick over in Scotland. The tabloids were getting on Graham Alexander's back, who eventually got sacked in the end. They were getting on his back, getting on the team's back, and they actually referred to SLIGO after the first leg as Irish minnows, which of course, if there was any need for it, just added more fuel to the fire for SLIGO in the second leg. They obviously went on to win that game 2-0, and yeah, well, I don't know if SLIGO are Irish minnows. What's smaller than a minnow? Motherwell are obviously Scottish guppies. By the way, Shane Blaney's free kick, oh my days, you will struggle to find a goal better than that this season. An outrageous hit from just so far out, 35-40 yards, wasn't nearly outrageous hit. But yeah, SLIGO, as I mentioned, backed up the unbelievable 2 wins over Motherwell with a loss at home to crash out of the FAI Cup. And the significance of that defeat is just so big. Like, obviously people are going to be like, oh, we'll just focus on Europe, but in terms of being in Europe next season, to repeat it again, it's by no means guaranteed that SLIGO becoming in a European spot next season, and then that avenue of winning the FAI Cup and being in Europe through that has just been taken away from them. So it's a huge blow for SLIGO, 100%. But next up for SLIGO in the Conference League is a trip to Norway to face Viking. That'll be a very difficult game. The odds are all stacked against them, but let's hope they can pull it off after against all odds again after a shocking result against Wexford. But who knows with the LOI? They beat Motherwell twice after losing to UCD, so who knows? So maybe they can do something similar once again. The winner of that tie will play Dušanska Streda of Slovakia or FCSB of Romania. So I think that was actually probably the best draw that SLIGO could have got from that. Obviously we'll talk about Pats in a minute, but they got a very difficult draw in terms of if they get through to the playoffs. But yeah, SLIGO probably got the best possible draw that they could have got for the playoffs, but of course it's going to be no easy task coming through. First of all Viking, and then the playoff as well will be a very difficult game, but who knows, hopefully SLIGO can get it done. Moving on to St. Patrick's Athletic, they obviously pulled off a brilliant win against NS Mura, who actually defeated Tottenham Hotspur in this same competition last season. That just shows you the magnitude of the victory and of the achievement, really. Of course, the first leg was a 1-1 draw at Richmond Park. Chris Forrester with an unbelievable goal to draw Pat's level. Obviously went over to Mura with a tough task at hand, but they did bring the game all the way to penalties. Joseph and Yang pulled off some amazing saves throughout the game. Really kept him in it at times. And Barry Cotter actually in the first half had an unbelievable chance, a gilt-edged chance, and he missed. But yeah, Pats on penalties, it was just heart and mouth moments, really, wasn't it? The penalties were kind of swinging back and forth, but of course Pats did pull it off in the end. An unbelievable achievement for them, and they come up against CSKA Sofia of Bulgaria in the next round now. And of course it's actually a shame that they don't get to play their next home game in Richmond Park. They have to play CSKA Sofia in the Tallaght Stadium, so it kind of takes that little bit of that home advantage away. Not completely, but it is a bit of your home advantage is gone. You're not used to the pitch that you play in week out, so it is a big blow in that regard. I can't remember if I mentioned it or not, but SLIGO Rovers were given permission to play their third round tie in the showgrounds. So it's a huge boost for them. The winner of the CSKA Sofia and St Patrick's Athletic game will go on to face the winners of Brondby and Basel. So of course those are two huge recognisable clubs, hugely big clubs on the European scene, so it's going to be a very, very difficult playoff game if Pats can pull off the win against Sofia. So it's a huge ask for Pats to get to the group stage of the Conference League, but you never know. They actually, similarly to Sligo, in a more negative manner as well, they did follow up their dramatic win over NS Mura with an unbelievably shocking defeat in the FAI Cup at home to Waterford. They lost, I think it was 3-2 to Waterford at home in the FAI Cup. And as I said for Sligo, same applies for Pats. They're by no means guaranteed a European spot through the league this season. Going to be very, very competitive in the top half of the table. Pats have been so inconsistent this year as well, so it's a huge blow to go out of the cup and have that avenue taken away from you into getting into Europe. Obviously Pats are the holders of the trophy as well, so it's a massive disappointment in that regard as well. But yeah, in terms of being in Europe next season, it's a huge disappointment that avenue has been taken away from them. And finally, the champions Shamrock Rovers. It was always going to be a huge uphill battle for Rovers after falling to a 3-0 defeat to Ludogorets in the first leg of their Champions League game. But they did amazingly in that second leg to pull it back to 2-0. Aaron Green and Aidomo Amaku getting 2 goals for the hosts. Obviously maybe a little bit too late. Amaku's goal was 88th minute, I believe, and Ludogorets were down to 10 men in that second half, so the pressure was definitely on. But Shamrock Rovers obviously throwing men forward, and Ludogorets got a goal on the counter, so it was a big shame for them. But it's just that first leg killed them, didn't it? It was always going to be a really difficult task getting back into that game after losing 3-0. It wasn't really a 3-0 game either. They were unfortunate to lose. It was a poor performance, but it wasn't a 3-0 defeat. It was unfortunate for them that they went down by that many goals, and it's just hard to pull that back then after that. There was some incidents after the Ludogorets goal as well, involving some fans and some of their players and stuff, so we'll wait and see what comes of that. It didn't look like there was pretty scenes anyway, and if there is fans running onto the pitch and attacking players, that can't be condoned at all, and Shamrock Rovers will probably face fines from UEFA if it is found that fans run onto the pitch and attacking players and things like that. So it's not on. But apparently I think the goalkeeper was goading the fans a little bit, and there was players throwing bottles into the crowd and stuff, so I think it was definitely some blame on both parties, I'd say. But can't have fans run onto the pitch and going towards players. That's not on at all. Shamrock Rovers will now go on to face North Macedonian side Skopje in the Europa League, who they lost to Dynamo Zagreb in their Champions League game. Of course, the Shamrock Rovers win the game, they go into the Europa League playoff, where they will face either Karabag or Ferenc Severos, is it, from Hungary? That's how you pronounce it. It's a difficult one to pronounce, but yeah, one of those sides, which is definitely, it's going to be tough obviously, but you could see Shamrock Rovers putting up a good game against any of these sides, and I think they're the favourites to beat Skopje at home, so we'll see what happens. It can be tough games, of course. There's no easy games in Europe at this stage of the competition, but you just never know. And if they do get past Skopje, they're in the playoff of the Europa League, and they are guaranteed a spot in the Conference League group stage. It's actually confusing in your head trying to say it out, but I hope I'm doing a decent job of trying to explain it all to you guys. But if they do lose to Skopje in the Europa League third round, they will face against Balakani or KI Klaskvik in the Conference League playoff. The winner of that game, they will play in the Conference League playoff. So obviously we all are aware of KI Klaskvik from a couple of years ago when Dundalk beat them in the Europa League playoff. So I think that's definitely a winnable game. If Rovers are to lose to Skopje, that is a winnable game to get into the Conference League group stage at the very minimum. At this stage, it would be a huge disappointment if Shamrock Rovers don't reach a European group stage at all. It'd be a huge disappointment for their season, to be honest. But yeah, guys, what did you think of the LOI sides bossing it in Europe last week, and can they repeat the same this week? Make sure to get your predictions down in the comments below, and I will have another video coming out this week with the transfer window closed. We're going to be rating every Premier Division side's transfer business on a scale. I was thinking either a 1 to 10 scale or doing like a tier list for for where I rank each side's transfer business over this summer from the Premier Division. So yeah, let me know down in the comments below if you would like to see either a tier list or a scale for how your side did in the transfer window this summer. But yeah guys, I hope you did enjoy the video. Please do drop a like if you did enjoy it down below, and make sure to subscribe if you are new around here. Thank you so much for watching guys, and I'll catch you in a bit.